Hello, hello. Happy Friday. How we doing, Johnny Mo?
I'm sad today
Sad today. Why are you sad today?
because I see the future of our industry, and all these agents that aren't doing the proper things today are going to feel that impact
Hmm.
2, 3, 4, 5 years down the road because a paradigm shift is happening. It's not going to happen. It is happening.
Right.
And a paradigm shift, I don't want anybody to confuse a paradigm shift with a crash. It's not what we're talking about.
No.
The advent of the internet was a paradigm shift, right? Air
Mhm.
Jordans, right? Michael Jordan's first sneaker, that was a paradigm shift. So a paradigm shift is how the consumer, it's more than that, but in this particular instance, how the consumer engages and how the consumer processes information and how the platforms find you and everything else like that. I'm just sad because there's a lot of my friends in this business who aren't doing anything for their future them.
Mhm. Yeah. No, it's true. It's true. And when we talk a lot about, um, attracting versus chasing, and for us, what we're trying to accomplish, we're trying to attract. We're trying to attract business to us. We're trying to put things out there that make people want to engage and come back and deal with us. We're not chasing after them. We're not making a bunch of cold calls. And do you have to do some of that? Yeah. Do we do some? Do we do some direct mail? Do we do some calling? Sure, we do, because you have to be able to supplement what you're doing too. But the majority of what we do is it's all attraction based. It's
Yeah.
putting good. It's networking at a high level. It's building that network of high value. It's putting good content out there, and it's bringing people to you versus chasing after them. Because nobody wants to be chased. Nobody wants to be sold, but they do want to be informed and educated. And that's why we do what we do, is because we can educate you and inform you on the area, community events, the community itself. Um, in a way where we're providing value, we're giving you what you want, giving you what you need, and in return, when the time comes, you're going to be like, well, I'd like for you guys to help me out. And that is something in this industry that we've never, I say we've never, most have never adopted, because it is, I need to go find somebody right now versus building that pipeline that will last potentially forever.
You know, there's two things I want to say about that. Is the paradigm shift that I'm going to talk about a small paradigm shift in consumer behavior, and that includes networking, that includes online, and those kind of things.
Mhm.
So that's happening, and that happens every second of the day. Okay, so it's not like something new is coming. I don't want this to be doom and gloom at all. It's not doom and gloom.
Mhm.
Zillow was a paradigm shift. They changed the consumer's habits on how the consumer looks for property, right? So
Sure.
how can you be like Zillow versus just being victim, a victim to the situation? How can you be a victor and not a victim, right?
Yes.
Because I'm an admin in a lot of groups. And I'm in even more groups than I admin. And there's a lot of angst out there
Hmm.
about where the market's going, the market slowdown. Even top producers we know are having off years because of lack of inventory in many markets, or whatever the news media wants to spin as the slowdown.
Yeah.
Um, it's real, right? It's real. Some people being impacted. We know that. And we know a lot of people that are still making great money because they're out there digging in deep. But the paradigm shift in networking is, if we take a company, I'm not going to say their name, there's several networking kind of group companies. I'm not
Mhm.
going to say their name, or their initials or anything else like that, but it's Big Nasty International, right? So now we know. You can figure it out from there. I'm not liable for nothing. Uh,
Yeah.
but anyways, they were a staple for years.
Mhm.
Blockbuster was a staple for years,
Yep.
right? We used to go Friday night, get three or
Hmm.
four movies for the weekend, right? Red Box came out, and now what? I can do everything from my phone on streaming services.
Hmm.
So this is evolution. This is paradigm shift. I was a network engineer during the '90s. I had T1 lines come into my office when y'all were using AOL. Beep, 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 beep.
Oh yeah,
Bang, bang, bang,
the
right?
old dial-up modem.
I've been around the technology platform since for a long time. I don't want to say since the beginning because boy, we can trace that back to the '60s, late '60s. But the paradigm shift in the networking, you have with the big companies, you get a chapter. So in a town like mine, 120,000 people, there's about 6 chapters that serve this area. And your goal is to go in there and network and everything else like that. And I'm not picking on it because I think it's absolutely wonderful.
Sure.
But we have, and the way that we approach it is a little bit different. I don't want to be constricted or restricted in any way. So I'm able to go out there and build business relationships with business owners who probably normally aren't coming to BNI anyway. But I'm also able to build those. I just said it,
I
didn't
say you
I?
just said it.
It's become
You
a
blew your
verb.
cover.
It's become a verb like Google. That's why.
Yeah.
But they may
Sure.
not typically come to the networking event. So I'm going out to meet them, support them at the same time it's creating content. But I'm building that network and ecosystem, right?
Mhm.
And everybody can do this.
Totally.
And then you come in on the back end and carry on that relationship because I'm not great at carry on relationships. I'm great at making them. I'm not the best friend, you know?
Mhm.
Um, and so we're able to have that paradigm shift in networking because of the technology and the tools that exist today. Everything we do, everything I do, right here, nothing more. Well, I got a drone too. I got 2 drones because I keep hitting trees, but I got a
It's a
couple of
problem.
drones that I can take my aerial photos with. Anybody can do it, and you don't need a license if you're just a hobbyist and you can only go 100 feet up. That's all I need. Watch out for trees. Probably will get my license, whatever, at one point because I don't have enough to do. So I want to go
Yeah.
study for a federal test
Yeah. Why not?
filled with nonsense. Anyways,
Get your
that's
name
a
on that
paradigm,
federal list there, Johnny Mo.
right? Get me off that no-fly list. So there's a paradigm shift right there. If you think about it, there's paradigm shifts around you all the time on how behavior changes or how you can approach something differently. And if you can approach networking, build your own networking group. The problem is some people don't do it. Networking is uncomfortable for a lot of people.
Sure.
So you're really good at the network human component of things. I'm really good at the network, break the ice, give you something of value because my gift is technology. My gift is the sight and vision of the user experience or something pleasing or the right way to say something or the sound of it properly, right? Those are my gifts, the creation world. Yours is the relationship. So the paradigm shift shouldn't be I need to go into this group of 24 people, say my 30 seconds, shake everybody's hands. I got to lead. I got to lead. That is great. But if you can take that and stop being inculcated by their system and take what you learn from their system and bring it online with video, digital, and social, I can promise you you'll have a bigger network of high value that's not restricted or constricted.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and that's why that's exactly what our topic really today is. It's surrounding yourself with people that make you better, and that comes in a variety of shapes and forms. So when you think of the networking that you're doing, you are actually out there, offering something of value to small business owners to help them. It's, hey, we want to build a relationship with you, and in order to do that, we're going to bring value first. We're going to bring you something because we care about our community. We believe in small business because what are we all? We're all small business owners. Like that's what we do. So, and we believe in small business. So we're going to bring you something of value. And, it's not because we're just really great guys. It's because we want to help you out. Like we genuinely care. Like we genuinely care about the communities that we serve, the communities that we live in, and the small business area. So we're going to bring you something of value that you can use as a marketing piece and advertising piece. You get in front of our network, we get in front of your network, everybody wins, and hopefully your business gains something from it. And then the second layer to that, as you described, is that I come in behind it because you're great at those, kind of collateral marketing type pieces and the showcase of the business. I then come in behind it and say, okay, Mr. and Mrs. Business Owner, tell me about you. What's your story? Where'd the idea for this business come from? Why'd you name it that? What is it like operating a small business? Because then you showcase the business and you showcase the business owners. So you get to tell both stories, in which case now you're getting additional exposure to the community, additional opportunities to present who these people are, because we all visit small businesses. Do you know the owner? No, most cases you don't. Half the time the owner's the one serving you behind the counter you don't even know. But now it's a chance to continue to tell those stories and get those faces and names out into the community, which is crazy impactful. Um, so I look at that. I look at that as a networking piece. I then go one more level up to that, and I think of like a mastermind, and that's where you really get into people that make you better. The networking definitely will make you better. Makes your business better. You're going to learn. You're going to gain knowledge. You're going to build relationships, and from there, there's lots of value that gets exchanged. When you think about mastermind, now you're trying to go and actually get with those business owners and learn what they do, learn from each other, dive into what's working for you, what's not working for you. How'd you get here? How'd you get through this problem? Because now that proximity to other people that are successful, in most cases, hopefully more successful than even you are, there's tremendous value in being able to share the secrets, the tips, the struggles, because we all go through them and we can all learn from each other. And when you do that, everybody improves.
100%. Everybody improves. And I do think that we're not for everybody. Our approach isn't for everybody, and that's okay. I don't try to be a one shoe fit all type of guy ever. We're not. Nobody, no thing is ever. Some people are about the exchange. They just want to sell a property, move on to the next, sell a property, move on to the next. They are excellent salespeople.
Sure.
Right? That's what they are, is salespeople. They're taking leads, converting them to sales, staying in touch with their data, everything that we talk about. I believe, I can't say this for you. I know what you believe, but I can't say that. When I say you, I mean you, listeners, viewers. Yep. I can't tell you what's right or wrong. Right? No. That's up to you to decide. And there's really no wrong, right? It's just, does it work for you? It doesn't not. Does it not? Does it vibe with you? It does it not, right? Is it something that you find joy in? And I don't think that we should be doing anything really unless we find joy in it. Don't get me wrong. If we got a job, we got to make money, then sometimes we have to do some things that are not joyous so that can fund the joy.
Absolutely.
But I believe in this, that we are capable of something bigger than self.
Mm-hmm.
But it takes understanding self to know that.
Agreed.
Right?
Yep.
So I don't fault anybody that wants to go out there and grind and make $1 million a year.
Go for
that's what you want to do. Thumbs up, bub. I mean, you need a video editor.
Yeah.
Right. You need a content creator. We're good. You need somebody to help you with that website. We're good. We'll help you with all of this. You know what I mean? But I'm not that guy to say, all right, you're gonna wake up 4:30, go to the gym, grind, run 7 miles. I'm not that guy, right? I'm gonna try to find the path of least resistance that I can do, get the most amount of work done, meet the most amount of people, and have the biggest impact with a cat on my lap. I'm different, right? But I want to go support the community, and that's what I do. So I get in my vehicle, I bring my electric bike sometimes, I bring my cameras, and I go tell the stories. And I can tell you, when I go to every town along the seacoast, there's dozens of real estate agents in each town not doing it.
Right.
But I'm doing it. I'm building a following. I checked my YouTube yesterday. The new one I started for Explore Maine Life in December. I think I started in November, but I didn't post until December, around Christmas time. And it had 26 days. 26 days. I just checked this morning. 27 days. Just call it 26 days. 26 days out of 28 days of the last 28 days of humans watching my content. And it's pretty much localized and specialized. So a lot of that's going to be local. But then I've also taken these things and I've turned them into blogs. I've put the blogs out there. Now I have that on Facebook. And it doesn't look like real estate regurgitation.
Yep. Yeah.
So I'm out there doing more for the community, and not just a community, not just my town. I'm doing it bigger, because I have a bigger vision than most, and I don't want that to sound cocky or condescending towards anybody else. I have a vision. That's why it's called Explore Maine Life, right? I have a vision. That's why it's called Explore New Hampshire Life, because we're going to tell stories of that area, and then I build a network with inside that area. So I approach things a little bit different. But when you can make things bigger than self, when you want to make it about people, when you want to make it about the community, when you do food reviews, tell cool stories about places that people might not. Everybody locals always get mad. Why are you telling everybody about that place? All right, the small business should suffer then, huh?
Right.
Oh, I guess nobody should go to that swimming hole.
Yep.
Anyways, well, I guess you invented that. Somebody told you. But anyways, when you're able
Well,
to do it, you have never-ending content, but you're making never-ending online friends, and this is important to
mhm.
understand. I'm gonna cross over another paradigm shift for you. Your sphere of influence, you need to take that typical definition of it. You know how when you look up a word, there's one,
Oh
two,
yeah.
three different types of variations on how to use that word? Well, you need to add a number 4, 2, 3, 7, whatever the number it is, that online, people that you influence and know, people that you influence online, because it's a sphere of influence. So there's a whole bunch of people when you have online content that you can influence. That is also your 2023 sphere of influence. You heard it from Johnny Mo first.
Well, and so yesterday you and I did a workshop helping some people understand vertical video. The idea of reels and TikTok, and when you stand the phone up tall and record video. And I was sharing some stats on what I do, and I do some kind of, I would say, niche type stuff. But I've reached in the last 28 days almost 52,000 people with
Wow.
just posting a daily reel. So I cut up things like this and podcasts that I record because I'm not making the same content you are, which actually works well. I'm making content that's more on the, kind of business education, coaching, training stuff. That's what I really enjoy doing. So I provide content on that. And I've reached over 50,000 people in the last 28 days by just posting these reels out there. I spend probably a couple hours a month creating them, and then maybe 5 minutes a day posting them. And I've added 10% to my group, to my followers on Facebook, by just putting stuff out there. Now, am I doing anything revolutionary? No, I'm just doing it. Like, that's the thing. Like, I'm just doing it. I'm putting it out there. I'm putting things where people are. And it's back to the idea of you've got to be where the attention is. The consumer doesn't know you exist. The business owners don't know you exist if you don't put stuff out there where they're looking.
Mhm.
And this idea, we always talk about, the secret agents. There's all these people in real estate, loan officers, title reps, attorneys, real estate agents that don't necessarily tell people what they do. So they're a secret agent. They don't actually put on display what they do, and then they can't figure out why their businesses don't grow. Well, if nobody knows what you do and you don't do anything to put yourself in the path of traffic, then you've only got yourself to blame when there's
Mhm.
nothing going on. Because with the tools we have, and we showed people in the vertical video workshop yesterday, it's really easy to make this stuff. It's not rocket science. And one of the things that we're doing for people that believe in this methodology and want to get started, in our real estate community leaders Facebook group, we're going to begin a weekly mastermind on this community leaders concept. How to, what's working for those people that are doing this? How do you get started in it? And for those people that want to dive a little deeper, as I mentioned, you want to surround yourself with people that make you better. We have an inner circle of people we work with, a couple of top agents. We have a CRM expert. We have an SEO expert, considered to be one of the industry experts on SEO. We've got you on the content creation side, me on the business operation and growth side. That whole inner circle, like we put together a coaching program people can actually sign up for, where you're going to have the inner circle that helps us produce this content and build out this traffic is now going to share those secrets. So if you don't need somebody to do it for you, but you want to learn how it's done, we'll give you the entire playbook. We'll show you everything that we do in that coaching program. The evolutionmediagroup.com/coaching. You will get access to our inner circle that's devised the strategies and techniques and tactics that's allowing us to do this. If you're not ready to do it yourself, do it with somebody else, and you just want to do it yourself. If you just want to understand the methodology and the concept, we've got a free mastermind in our real estate community leaders Facebook group. You're welcome to join that as well to learn more about it. But I would say, if you're not doing anything right now to put yourself in the way of the consumer, or surround yourself with people that are making your business better, if you are trying to be a lone wolf secret agent, then it won't end well. That's a very difficult way to make your existence. You need to be doing things where people are going to see you and you're exposing yourself to ideas. Because, as I've said a million times, Johnny Mo, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And the thought of doing this by yourself is insane because you just can't. And I even heard a podcast yesterday or this morning from Brendan Burchard, and he made the comment of a lot of people say it's lonely at the top, and those people that say it's lonely at the top did it wrong. It should never be lonely at the top, because you should always be surrounded by the people that helped the business get there.
For sure. If you do it alone, it's hard. It's hard, right?
No fun.
It's easy, but it's hard. And what I mean by that is anybody, hear me out. I'm 51.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I got a bit of technical background and I figure things out, but I also have ADD and I get frustrated easy and I don't like change. Right. But
Sure.
Here I am talking about paradigm shift.
Yep.
Being part of it because that's called evolution. Heck, that's the name of the company too.
I was saying we didn't pick that name on accident.
So I started Explore Main Life in December of 2022. I just told you I had 26 days of videos. Now that's not a lot when you compare it to some people who have eons.
Yeah, Mr. Beast.
Right? Or something like that. But again, I'm not trying to get everybody. I'm not trying to monetize. You know how much you have to do to get a check of substance. I'd rather spend my time getting a listing. I'd rather spend my time. One listing is going to get me more than I'm going to get from a monetized anything on any of these channels for hyperlocal content.
Yeah, and to pause you right there, Johnny Mill, I think I was talking to somebody yesterday who mentioned the fact that they were asking me, like, will this program get them monetized on YouTube? And I said it could. I said, but monetization is a myth. I mean, is monetization possible? Sure.
Is there anything in our title is there anything in our title that says is there anything in our title that says that? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I know that
no. It's true though. I think a lot of people believe that there's like millions of dollars to be made on YouTube monetization or TikTok monetization. You had the example of the day of somebody had like 250 million views on a video on TikTok and they made $1,900. Like 258 million views is like a once in a lifetime occurrence. And the guy made $1,900 off of it. So is monetization possible? Yes. If you're doing this for monetization, you need to be creating like crazy, wild, mainstream content. Like Mr. Beast does. Does Mr. Beast make a bunch of money on YouTube? Absolutely. He also spends thousands and thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars on each of these videos in order to produce content that gets that many views. So if you want to become a YouTube millionaire, then you're in the wrong business, because this monetization is a myth. Very few people get monetized to a level where it's actually significant enough to make any sort of difference. So if monetization is your goal, if you think you're going to become rich on YouTube, you absolutely will not. But those videos will make you rich through other things just because they're out there.
That's the way that I look at it, right? And the person who said this, and it was YouTube, not TikTok, it was YouTube. YouTube Shorts, and everybody knows this guy. You might not know his name, but when I explain him to you, you've seen him if you've been on any social medias. I think it's Joe Pena. I think it's Joe, might be his first name. He's the guy. He has the a little bit shorter, it seems. He always got like bodyguards around him or something. He's got the white cream colored shorts on with the ass implants. And he just walks around and people are like, who, what? Or he does these weird ass stunts. So the video he was talking about where he was in the ring with an MMA fight and he goes running at him and gets punched in the forehead and gets knocked out. That video got 253 million views or something. He made $1,900. So short form definitely isn't the way to go. I mean, and that's what I'm thinking. I can't even pay rent with this, right? And
right.
I don't anticipate any real estate agent talking about York, Maine is going to get 253 million views, right? This guy's hitting that national audience. This is what I try to tell people. You're trying to be local famous. You're not going to draw people in from Washington State, most likely, right? And if you do, it's that 1 or 2 people that are looking to move this area. But I just want to touch base on, so Explore Main Life is relatively new. I told you a minute ago, 26 days of humans watching content, right? So I just looked on TikTok for Explore Main Life, and over the last 28 days, 62,000 video views, 1799 likes, 226 comments. Now, half of those are probably me, but anyways, 900 profile views, right? So when I look at the chart, I see it growing, right? And that's the thing. There's really not many hockey sticks.
Yeah.
And if that hockey stick happens, that's how people get put out of base because or out of business sometimes because
Mhm.
they can't handle the sharp increase, right? Or
Right.
whatever that increase might look like. And then all of a sudden you're scrambling. But to see that constant rise on both Google, on YouTube and stuff. But what's happening is the way that I have my TikTok set up, I got a link in bio. It brings into my tap link, my link tree or one of those things. The traffic to the website has increased. I mean, we're doing some SEO, local SEO stuff and everything else like that, but you're seeing the traffic increase as well. So it's not something that's going to happen today with ads. I get leads a couple times a day from the ads that we run, right? But this is something that as more and more people see it. I was at a place, I might have mentioned this last week. I was at a place last week and 3 kids, I was filming in front when I was done and walking back in my car. They said, "Are you a YouTuber? Or do you have a YouTube channel?" I said, "Yeah." I told them, I said, "On TikTok, you'll see it on TikTok first." And so instantly, by the time I got my car and back to the office, they were all following me and they shared it out with their friends.
Yeah.
I responded to one of them in a video and stuff like that. So that happens. Heck, through what I'm doing, right, and going out there to meet people and connect with people, because again, it's bigger than me. I'm going out there diffused. I'm trying to give something away, not take something from you. And every
Sure.
real estate agent out there in the world is trying to take something from you. Who
Yep.
can I help next? I got a goal to help 52 families. No, you don't have a goal to help 52 families. You need to help 52 families to hit your financial goal. Just say it.
Yeah.
Just
Just
say
call it
it.
what it
Say
is.
the uncomfortable part out loud, right? But now here I am going to meet the mayor of a town. I'm in talks with the Chamber of Commerce of 2 very powerful and affluent towns that has I have the number 1 video. No real estate agent in their town has the number 1 video. Me, John, has the number 1 video.
Yep.
Explore Maine Life. I'm also in talks with the Friends of Sanford. They just had their meeting on Wednesday. They invited me to the meeting. It was too short of a notice for me to make it. So I said, "When's the next one?" I'm coming to the next one to present to them, and we're gonna do a whole video about the town.
Yep.
Then we're gonna have an old homes day for Johnny Moe. Johnny Moe Homecoming. I don't even live there. There's agents that live there that don't do this.
Yep.
Why is your competition? Well, let me rephrase that. Why is your client seeing my video and not yours?
Yep.
Because it's not brain science.
No, and that's the cool thing about this is that, does video create lead gen opportunities? Absolutely. People are going to see the video and say, I'd like to move there. Can you help me? But at the same time, back to the original topic of surrounding yourself with people, now we're getting invited into meetings with chambers of commerce and local community organizations and support organizations that opens us up to talk to these organizations, talk to other business owners, and continue to build out that network of people we know, which also opens up opportunities to have conversations and learn about them and learn from them. And again, is it the whole thing becomes full circle because you're getting chances to surround yourself with more people, build that network out. And now when you've got a question or you're stuck or you need something, you've got a network of business owners. You can say, "Hey, you've probably dealt with this. Tell me how you got through it." And you've got the ability to build that mastermind type function within your network. And that's where, I'm a huge fan of masterminds, getting into rooms with people. And I want to be the I want to have the smallest business and I want to have the least knowledge in the room. Because if you reach a point where you're the smartest person in the room, that room becomes a cage and restricts your growth. You want to keep getting into rooms with other people to learn from them, but also to help them and engage with them and help everybody grow, mutually beneficial relationships. And if you go to networking events solely to figure out who's going to buy or sell right now so I can get them business, or who needs a refinance, or who needs an insurance policy, or who needs a, fill in the blank, you're missing the point, because that one-off conversation will likely lead nowhere. And you've missed a chance to build the bigger relationship that will pay dividends long term. And that's why I enjoy networking. I could talk small business. I could talk small business ops, finances. I could talk that to people all day long. Like, I just enjoy doing that. That's my wheelhouse. I'm a business guy. I'm not a salesperson. I'm not going to try to sell you anything. I'm not going to try to outscript you and convince you to do anything you don't already want to do. But you want to talk small business, you want to talk economics, you want to talk community, you want to talk finances, you want to talk wealth building, you want to talk any of that. I'll talk about that all day. So like, I'm not doing anything I don't already enjoy doing. And because of that, the relationships continue to build. And when they need something, even if it's not real estate related, I've got small business owners that I talk to that call me with questions. not to buy or sell real estate, not to invest in a new building, but just a, hey, how would you handle this? Or hey, I remember we talked about this. What was that answer again? And I'm happy to take those calls and provide those answers because I like doing it and it builds the relationship and I can add value because I go back to, if I'm ever going to split a dollar with somebody, I want to make sure that I've contributed at least 51 cents of that dollar because I want to know that I gave more than I took, because that to me feels good. I enjoy seeing other people succeed. I believe there's enough for all of us. And that's where a lot of agents that have that mindset of mine, and stay out of my business. I'm not going to tell you anything. I'm going to hide it all and keep it to myself. Great. That's awesome. You do that. You put yourself on an island and you will never grow. But good luck to you. Because I'll tell you everything I do. I don't care, because there's enough out there for everybody. There's no reason to hide it, because ultimately nobody benefits from putting themselves on an island.
Nobody benefits from putting themselves on an island. You can be successful, but
Mhm.
um it might be lonely, right? You might have a bunch of superficial stuff going on there. I
Yeah.
want to share this with you too. I just went a little bit deeper into my analytics on just TikTok and top cities. 16.1% Dover.
Hmm.
That's New Hampshire.
Yep. Sure is.
Seacoast, New Hampshire. Portland, Maine, 14%. It's the wheelhouse. It's the mothership. Bangor, Maine, 13.4%. Well, hell, man, I'm heading up that way
I was gonna
anyway.
say, that's interesting because you haven't done anything up there yet, but you're about to.
Boston, Mass, 13.4%, which now consider who's moving to
I
Maine.
was just gonna say, pause right there
And
because
9.7% Portsmouth,
yeah.
New
So
Hampshire,
pause
which,
right there for a minute. You're getting almost 25% of your views from out of staters, which is great because when they're searching for things about Maine, they're finding you. Not somebody else, they're finding you.
and when they land on exploremainlife.com, guess what? All my content's there. It's very defused from real estate. And if you want to search. But I pixelated you. So when you go back to Facebook or any of these other things, don't pixelate and you're going to see me
Yeah,
again.
you're gonna see
Right.
me.
So that's the power of it. Now, I want to go over to my fake book. I want to see some analytics on
Yeah.
there.
So
This
so
is
well you
this is all for me just going out making videos about me eating and
yeah.
cool places to go hiking. You know what I mean? Or cool place to take my e-bike. I haven't even started that series yet.
Yeah. So while you pull that up, Johnny Mo, the key takeaway there is if you're putting content out that the consumer wants and that they're searching for, they will find it and they will find you and they will build that relationship with you. You know, you're not calling people in Boston or Portsmouth saying, "Hey, watch my videos." Like, they're searching for this information and because of that, they're finding it.
Mhm.
So you're getting to them long before anybody else.
So over the last 28 days, I'm just using 28 days across the board. 32.2 thousand reach, 5.4K engagements. That's key because people liking it, commenting, whatever. The thing that
Yep.
sucks about Reels is you can't invite them to like your page.
Yeah, I know.
Right? Wherever you do a post, you can invite them to like your
Yep.
page. This is where understanding how the systems operate is important because, yeah, we want to put out reels because we're told we need to do that, but it's multi-channel. It's multi-channel inside of each channel,
Yes,
right?
agreed.
You want to put posts so you can engage and have that conversation. Out of the last 28 days, gained 55 followers and 330 383 1 minute views, which to me is great. Nobody ever looks at that. They always want to look at the vanity 3 second video views, which is 11.6, right?
Yep.
Um, Still, I'll take 383 1 minute. Somebody watched because they're all 1 minute videos.
Right.
So 383 people watched my video. It's probably me, you, and my buddy Claude. Just
Uh,
kidding. Because I talk to people on there, I engage with people on there, and I don't even do a lot with Facebook. I enjoy TikTok and YouTube the most,
sure.
right?
Totally agree.
Facebook and I have a love hate relationship, but I use it because I have to.
Mhm.
I post to it only through Instagram typically or Chime. I don't really go post to it, right?
Sure, sure.
So
Yeah, yeah.
I deliver the content there and then we run specific ads.
Yep.
So when I look at that, when I look at YouTube, when I put it across the board, you have thousands of minutes viewed of my content.
Yep.
of me eating cheeseburgers, talking about real estate, about saying, hey, fucking driving people to the website, right? All these different things. As a result, people, and I'm being authentic about it. I'm not trying to be fake. I'm not trying to sell you anything. Got a goal to help 25 families. No, you don't. I love that, right? Because it's so
Yep.
fake. It's just fake. Just be real. But now, as a result of that, the relationships that are flourishing from that are great. That's
Yep.
all I can say. The relationships are flourishing. And at the end of the day, this business and what will keep you in business with any paradigm shift that's about to happen and the sharp decline of agents that is potentially going to happen over the next 3 years, what you're going to see is those who have the best relationships and the best reputation and are most visible online are the ones that are going to survive.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if back to, you create stuff people are looking for, they find you. And that's really getting to the top of the funnel. Like, you're getting people at the very beginning of their search, because nobody calls a real estate agent or a loan officer or an insurance agent before they're ready. Like, that's part of the getting ready process. But if you're 3 months out, 6 months out, a year out, you're not calling those people yet, because it makes no sense. But you are doing your research. You're starting to figure out, like, what neighborhood, what's the best town I should live in? What neighborhoods? What amenities are there? Like, you're starting to learn about the area you're going to move to. And if they continue to find your stuff and engage with your stuff, then they're spending their whole due diligence process, their whole research phase, basically with you. So when the time comes, they're just gonna be like, oh, this guy's a real estate agent too. Hey, can you help me? Click, find out more, or sign up, or give me a call, whatever that call to action might be. But
Mm-hmm.
because they spent that research phase with you, they are highly likely to be like, okay, when it's time, I need to talk to John, because he's basically educated me on the entire area. And I want to work with him because he clearly knows what's going on. Like, here's a guy who's plugged in, because again, when you get to the surrounding yourself with people that make you better, if you are that community leader, that community expert, they assume you've got the whole network built out to help them. So when they're going to ask you for a mortgage reference or recommendation, they're going to ask you for the insurance person. They're going to want to know what inspector they should use. They're going to want to know, all the vendors you use, contractors. So now your whole network benefits from the relationship that you built with this person online, because you made a video one time, put it out there, they came across. And again, surrounding yourself with people that make you better, because people are part of your network and your inner circle, they get business from it as well. So it continues to spiral out, but it all starts with building that relationship at the outset for free by adding value and being there when they need you.
Mm-hmm. So you want to hear something interesting?
Sure.
On TikTok, the majority of my followers were women.
Hmm.
And on Facebook, the majority of my followers, 57.1%, are women, right? Who makes the home? Who? I don't want to say that and sound so ageist or anything else like
No, but you're
that, or
right.
sexist or anything else like that. But it has been inculcated into us that it's usually the female. Now that removes couples of same sex, right? So it's really skewed, but they're still showing it. They haven't done anything different. They're still showing it.
Mm-hmm.
But the more important part here is the age brackets. The top 3 age brackets. The number 1 age bracket is 45 to 54.
Mm-hmm.
35 to 44, 45 to 54, 55 to 64. Those are my top 3 brackets. You can see it right there,
Yep.
right? So guess what? That's homeowner age, right? That's
Totally.
home buyer, home seller age.
Yep.
There are a lot of people my age who are de-homing and simplifying life, right? They're
Sure.
sick of paying
Absolutely.
$7,000 a year in taxes, $12,000 a year in taxes on a home that they don't actually need to pay that kind of taxes for anymore, right?
Yep.
Can have a nice piece of land for that. But the top cities: Biddeford, Maine; Lewiston, Maine; Saco, Maine; Rochester, New Hampshire; Manchester, New Hampshire; Augusta, Maine; Hermon, Maine. I don't know where that is.
Herman. Yeah.
New York; Portland, Maine; and
Hmm.
Scarborough, Maine. So the only thing there again is New York, and that's only 8%, 1%, right? So it's not a lot. It's only 1%, but it's still. Why are people in New York interested in Maine? Because they're the same reason they're interested in Cape Cod, because they don't have it.
Correct. And they may just be people that vacation here, but because they search for best lobster roll, they found your
Mhm.
video. And
Yes, they did.
they could be from anywhere. it's again, you cast such a wide net, you catch a lot of people. But one thing I want to elaborate, Johnny Mo, before we start to wrap it up here, is that demographic information you shared is golden, because now you know in the analytics who's looking and what they're looking for. So the more important part is who's looking. And I had a conversation with one of our partners earlier this week, and the question was, how do I get more engagement on my videos? Because very specific market. A lot of retirees, things like that. I said, well, who's your average client? And your average client is somebody in their 60s who's likely retiring, 60s or 70s retiring. This is where they go to retire. Great. What's important to them? What's important to them is things like amenities for when their family visits. It's going to be parks and hotels and restaurants. Good, we got that covered. What else is important to the demographic? Medical care, access to things like that. Like, you should also be talking about stuff like that, because again, if your client avatar, and that phrase we use all the time, is somebody that cares about those topics, then talk about those topics. Give them what they want. And that's one of the things I think that helps us, is that, our team does that keyword research to say, hey, in your area, these are the trending topics. You should make videos on those. And those topics can range from, best schools to best coffee shops to best lobster rolls to, could even be, how far is the nearest hospital? Like, that's the kind of stuff people care about when they're moving here. So do the keyword research, find out what people are searching for, make videos about that, and you're going to put yourself right in the way of the traffic. But again, it goes back to, do you have a strategy? Are you doing things intentionally or just kind of randomly? Because if you do this right, you will find people so high up the funnel. You will be sitting at the top of the funnel to catch them at the same time as places like Zillow and Realtor.com would. They're going to sell you the lead, whereas now you can go take it from them and not have to worry about that. So again, that information is critical. Do something with it. Use that to your advantage to figure out what people really want to see.
Oh, for sure. And that's the thing, right? Is you have to be careful when I talk, because there's a lot of words in our language that are misunderstood. Ego
Sure.
is one of them. We all have one, right? We all have one, because the ego is what basically controls you and drives you and protects you. Subconscious drives the ego.
Sure.
So we all have one. And often people's egos won't allow for them to think differently. That's called cognitive dissonance.
Mm-hmm.
Other than what they believe to be the truth. And we see a lot of that out there these days.
Absolutely.
So they put out content without back to the UPAD principles of success, without understanding what the consumer wants, because their ego says, we need another sale protection mechanism, right? Hey, let's put out real estate related content because that's what I know. That's what I have access to. That's what our design center has, right? So they just put out the same thing, and the same 4 or 5 people like it, share it, whatever. And yes, maybe you get content from, maybe you get business from it. I'm not saying you don't. I think everybody should be filling it in, right? I think everybody should. I call that filler content.
Yep.
But when you can figure out, just like Zillow did, don't hate me. Don't hate me. I say the uncomfortable parts loud. Just like Zillow did. And just like News Corp knew, that's why they approached Real NAR to buy Realtor.com, and your agent council, the elected people that you vote and the people that volunteer, they voted to sell Realtor.com to News Corp because they didn't understand. So understanding is vital. What the consumer's wants, needs, and demands are. Now, the Realtor.com thing happened in the 90s, right? And Zillow came out in 2006, I think.
Yeah,
5 or 6,
like
2006.
In that area, yeah.
And so that was a paradigm shift. I mentioned that early on, how consumer behavior, because the consumer wanted that. So the people that delivered to it, to the consumer's demands or the consumer's needs, won. And so your content has to be the same way. What's life like there? Let's go find cheeseburgers. Let's go find chicken wings. Let's go find a vegan meal and let the vegans know too, and try to hit everybody.
Exactly.
Because you're making content about the community. So now you get content, never ending content.
Yeah, 100%.
Repurposable content.
Yep.
from video, from a short video, and take those and put it into a long video, multiple, make a town video, turn the town video into a page page on your website, right? With the video and optimize and
Not just a
write-ups and
page, it's
stuff
a
like
page
that,
page.
right? Yeah, the page. And then take the short videos, turn those into blogs, right? I mean, this stuff all what we do is just what we do. Okay, that's how I know to do it because this is what we do. But
Yep.
now all of a sudden you've got repurposable content upon repurposable content. So even when you don't have content, you just repurpose the content.
Mhm.
Reuse it, rehash it, right? Because new videos and new videos, so it doesn't matter. But not only are you giving the consumer what they want, you're supporting the local community. I inject hundreds of dollars each week into small businesses, restaurants. I give
Yeah.
25, 30% tips, right? I
Yep.
do my part.
Mhm.
I do my part to help make the community a little bit better place. The thing that does drive me crazy though is when I stop and buy a cup of coffee and I'm checking out because I filled up the coffee myself and
Mhm.
I did everything else myself and I walked up and all you're doing is scanning my coffee and it asks me if I want to tip you. No, I don't want to tip you. But if I go in there and I order a latte and you make the latte, of course I'm going to tip you,
Absolutely.
right? If I'm buying a pack of gum, I ain't tipping you.
Yeah. Last thing,
Anyways, that's
last thing I want to say before we wrap up here, Johnny Mo, is I put a link in the chat here. If you go to theevolutionmediagroup.com/freebies, a lot of stuff we've talked about, we have available as a free download, or you can even watch the presentation and then download the booklet or the presentation yourself. All kinds of free stuff out there talking about creating referrals and building a network of high value and all kinds of great stuff. So the evolutionmediagroup.com/freebies, links in the chat. Feel free to go there and download stuff. But the cool thing is that because we created that stuff and put it out there, we have a vendor partner of ours who saw it and was like, wow, like, can I use this can I use this to bring to agents and all that? And so he and I talked about it. I'm like, yeah, we'd love to be the kind of your training arm to help bring value to your agents. So because of that, in a few weeks, we're going to present to a whole bunch of agents down in New Hampshire. We're going to do a training with them. Again, talk about surrounding yourself with people that make you better, getting into rooms with other people. Again, because we created stuff and just said, hey, it's there if you'd like to use it. It's going to open a door to us that otherwise wouldn't have been opened. So I go back to, you need to be surrounding yourself with people. You need to be networking. You need to be building that network and that network of high value out, because it will take care of you for a very long time. So with that, Johnny Mo, what is your parting thought for today?
people over profits, you're going to win every time. Go out there and make it about people. Make it about relationships, make it about networking and giving back, and give back in your unique way.
Yep.
Each of us are going to approach it and give back differently. And I'm talking each of us, me and you, we both approach it differently,
Yep.
right? Yin and yang. So approach it the way that works for you. I'm more of an introvert. I get uncomfortable with conversations. I got ADD. My head's thinking about 7,000 other things that I need to be meeting with the team about, meeting with agents about, or meeting with sellers about, right? All these other things. Make it about people over profits. So when I'm able to meet with people, it's not that I want to be out of there quick. When I find somebody that's interested in what I'm doing, I want to talk, but
Sure.
I'm really not interested in giving up any energy of mine, any time of mine outside of what my focus is. So I want to build relationships with you, showcase you, use you as content and stuff like that, not in a negative use of the word
Sure.
use, but I want to showcase you, put you on social media, get you a bunch of shares. And when I go in there, next time I see you, we sit down, have lunch, talk about it. And when I'm done lunch, I'm going,
Yep.
I'm just going because that's me. Right?
Yep.
If I build a friendship is different than a relationship,
Mhm.
right? That's why there's only 6 pallbearers. Everybody should have 5 friends. One should be a dog. That's just what I'm saying. 2
Yep.
should be a cat. So just get out there, make it about people over profits. You want every day I hear, how can I get leads? How can I get leads? How can I get leads? Go connect with people, figure out what it is that they want or need, and
Yep.
fill that gap. Zig Ziglar says it best, and I'll close with this: if you help enough people get what they want, you will get what you want.
Yep. Exactly. Do you help other people? So similar to what you said, my final thought is, if you go into a conversation with somebody, with the intent to learn and help and understand and support, you don't have to sell. I think too many times people launch right into a sales pitch. They want to talk about what they do, why they're so great at it, why they should use them. And really, just like when you go to a department store or go to Walmart and somebody says, "Do you need any help?" and you go, "No, I'm all set." Like immediately, you don't, as you say, Johnny Mo, everybody wants to buy, nobody wants to be sold. I don't. When I need you, I'll come find you. But until then, I don't need you. But if you go into that conversation, looking to learn and understand and help and support, people will talk to you. They'll give you everything. They'll continue to talk to you, so you can build that relationship out because you're coming at them in a way that is actually beneficial to them versus just throwing stuff at them. So again, go into a conversation looking to learn, help, support, and you will not have to sell because it'll be done for you.
Absolutely that. And can't say it anymore. I'd rather attract than chase, because chasing, you're gonna get tired.
Yep. Yeah, and nobody wants to be chased. They'd rather have a reason to come and find you. So
that, my friend, is the next paradigm shift that we'll talk about.
100%. So, all right, Johnny Mo, with that, it's time to head on out for today. So I hope everybody had a great week, has a great weekend. If you need us, you know where to find us, evolutionmediagroup.com, or in the Real Estate Community Leaders Facebook group. And we'll see you all around.